So I want to show you a little trick I've learned. Well, here we go. Stop number 4 on the border, walleye capital of the world, Lake of the Woods. Today is big fish day, and you know what they say, if you want to catch big fish, you have to go where the big fish are. That's Lake of the Woods, that's the Rainy River. We got a little bit of a north breeze, which makes me nervous. I'm shooting out of Lighthouse Gap, so we might be limited to 4 Mile Bay, we might be limited to just around Pine Island. A sturgeon just surfaced right over there. Here we go, Lake of the Woods, stop number 4. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Here we go. As you can see, she's a little wavy, she's a little bumpy. This is the heaviest the wind's supposed to be all day, I think. Blowing right out of the northeast, not ideal. We're gonna do our best. I'm gonna try to get the trolling motor down, try to live scope, but I think we're just gonna work outside in is the way I call it. So I drove out to 20 feet. I don't know where these fish are yet. These fish are moving out of the river, moving into their spring and summer spots. We know along Pine Island, we know outside the gap always has fish. It's just a matter of finding the right depth that they're gonna be at. So I'm gonna work outside in, start deeper, let this wind push me shallow. I'm gonna use the wind to my advantage instead of having to use a trolling motor to do it. Let the wind blow me in, and if it was a south wind, I'd probably do this opposite, work inside out, start shallow, go deep until you find them and get them dialed in. There's a lot of boats, or not a lot, but a few boats anchored out up here. There's a lot in 4 Mile Bay, so we might have to go explore that. I don't know if they're just staying out of the wind, if the bite's hot in there. We're gonna get her done. I'm gonna get rigged up. We'll be right back in just a second. Pretty similar program to everywhere else. Jigging a shiner bite, jigging a minnow, might go to jigging a plastic. We're gonna start with frozen shiners that are no longer frozen. Tungsten jig, 3/8 ounce because of this wind. We want to be able to get down in this wind, feel it in the wind. It's going to be tough. We're hunting big fish, so it shouldn't matter. There's a fish. Right away. Right away. And it doesn't feel bad either. Let me get the net. Right away, guys. Like, not even a couple minutes. Of course, it's stained water, I can't see it. It's a nice fish though. Ooh, that's why I had a charging cord in my net. It's like a Randon Olson tip. And it's a northern. Neato. Not as nice of a fish as we thought. God darn it. I thought for sure that was a walleye. For sure. Signs of life, at least. Signs of life. I'm pulling the plug on the big lake. It's just too wavy right now. I'm hoping we'll be able to get back out here. We might just go fish right by the gap a little closer, but I'm gonna get out of this wind a little bit. It's just picking up worse and worse. So I'm gonna pick the trolling motor up. We're gonna make a move. I'll get back to you in a little bit. We're gonna find them. Walleye. There we go, number 1. Not bad. So I want to show you a little trick I've learned. I actually learned this from fishing some barbless lakes in Canada. And yes, this hook has a barb and this jig has a bait keeper, but frozen bait still likes to slide off your jig. What we've come to use are bait buttons. Looks like a little rubber disc, and you just slide it over your hook and you slide it on up there, and it buttons up to your bait, keeps it holding on. Just caught that fish. That shiner's still there, it's dead anyways, it's good to go again. So if that wasn't on there, I probably would have lost it and would have had to put a new shiner on. So save your bait. Just a little handy tip, bait buttons. The other thing I can't stress enough is when you're by yourself on big water, especially in this wind. I know I haven't been wearing it fishing the last few days, and I've been on big water, leech, windy, red, but now today's windy, I'm by myself. Things can go south pretty quick if you're not careful with heavy winds, so I'm wearing my life jacket while I'm fishing, I'm wearing it while I'm running, I'm wearing my kill switch while I'm running. I can't stress that enough when you're doing a solo trip, even if you're not doing a solo trip, if you're with someone. But even more importantly, if you're doing a solo trip, especially, water temps are still cold. 52 degrees is still not warm. And it is still windy, as you can see. The camera tripod almost fell over. That could be you. If you go to take a leak, whoop, out you go. So I also have a coffee can in here, so I can pee into the coffee can, so I don't have to be leaning over the side of my boat. Net extension, so you're not leaning way over the side of the boat to net a fish. All just little things like that to keep yourself safe. You know, nobody wants to not come home at the end of the day. Either a big walleye or a sturgeon. I'm guessing sturgeon. That ends that. Slot 20-inch fish. Well, the time has come. It's time to head home. We found some eaters. We didn't find a giant one slot, so I can't complain. I love this lake. We're gonna be back in a few weeks because I've got a feeling that this lake just might have a few more big fish to pump out, and we're gonna come find them. But what a fun trip overall to some of the biggest lakes, best walleye lakes in Minnesota, back to back to back to back. How cool is it that we live in a state where we can drive just a couple hours and have great walleye lake, great walleye lake, great walleye lake, just right there. We're pretty fortunate to have that. So learned a ton. Hopefully you did too watching these videos, but it's time to hit the road, time to head home. We've got some more adventures coming up, so if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because we've got a lot more videos coming for you this summer. We'll see you on the next one.